Welcome to the All About TRH podcast, aka All About the Real Housewives, aka All About the Truth. On today's episode, we cover the Real Housewives of Orange County's latest episode and dive into the cast trying to set Heather Dubrow up. Plus, we touch on Siggy's interview and Real Housewives of New Jersey season 14 updates. Hi, Chantel.
Hey, Roxanne.
I feel like we haven't done this in a minute. Am I crazy? Why do I always say this?
You always say this, but no, I feel you. It's because we've had
We
some
interviews.
crossovers, interviews, and so we haven't sat down one-on-one.
Oh yeah, we did do a crossover. So it's going to be a bonus episode for Friday where we kind of touch on something with another podcaster who does very well. So we did like a crossover together. That'll be a bonus episode. And then we did a couple interviews. We have another interview today with a housewife. So we've been busy.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But we like doing these the most, though. Just, you and I clowning on each other.
I know, I really do I feel like the other ones, like the interviews and stuff, it gives us so much anxiety or because we just have to like work around everyone's schedule and you guys, we're so busy, like so busy. So it's like we're just trying to figure it all out. So hopefully you guys enjoy. So we did do an interview with Amber and I thought it was really interesting because there was a lot of stuff she talked about with Melissa, and I know a lot of people don't like Amber's husband and I get it, trust me, I get it. So if you don't want to listen, if you want to skip out on that one, then that's completely fine. It was more just
No, don't. Still listen.
I know, but Chantel's not on Twitter. So she doesn't know that the people on Twitter sometimes are really, really savage. And that's completely okay. But
I
I
just think
just
people on Twitter just have cojones and they just love to talk whatever they want to talk. So they'll
well,
still
yeah,
watch things and they'll still do things and they'll still they just
but
like
they'll
to they'll
yeah.
just love to talk about it. They love to read their tweets.
Yeah, I don't know. Chanel, you need to like go on
No,
Twitter.
I'm protecting my self safety and my self mental
Yeah.
health. Like, no, thank
You
you.
need to. I swear it's a scary place over there.
No.
So, yeah, but it's still a good one. Our whole point, and I'm going to keep reiterating this, is we're reaching out to people, and if it's controversial, and if you think they were the worst housewife in the entire world, and they said the most offensive thing ever, and all this stuff, it doesn't matter. We're reaching out to previous housewives. We want to get their experience, whether it was controversial, whether they were just like really lovable, and it just didn't work out. And we have a couple of those scheduled, so we're not going to release them all right away, but throughout the next couple of weeks, we're actually thinking about doing a Patreon just because we're like, everyone does one. And we're like, we could do, kind of like add more exclusive content and then also just, start recapping older shows and recapping older interviews, just things like that. So that's an idea that we're thinking about. But Chantel, what do we think about the Siggy interview? Our next partner is Ag1, the daily foundational nutrition supplement that supports whole body health. I drink it literally every day. As a working mom, life is hectic and always moving fast. I find myself cooking for the kids and forgetting about me, but I need something quick. Not only that, but I was tired of taking so many supplements and wanted to find a single solution. You guys have heard me say that I want to focus on more of a healthy lifestyle, and I wanted better gut health, a boost in energy because I clearly need it. So I found a supplement that actually tastes great. I drink AG1 to kickstart my day, and it makes me feel ready to go. Since I've been drinking AG1, I've noticed having daily energy, not noticing much cravings, better skin, and good gut health. Why take a bunch of different things when you can just mix one scoop of powder in water once a day? AG1 was designed with ease in mind so you can live healthier and better without having to complicate your routine. Every scoop is packed with 75 vitamins, minerals, probiotics, and whole food source ingredients of high quality that gives me major benefits like gut and mood support, boosted energy, and even healthier looking skin, hair, and nails. If you want to take ownership of your health, try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free Ag1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/TRH. That's drinkag1.com/TRH. Check it out.
I thought it was so good. If we did it in two parts, like as a standalone, you watched it, you never heard anything from her. She spilled a lot. I didn't know about the cake. I think everyone was shocked by the cake. situation. A lot of people didn't believe her also about the cake situation. They're like, "You were still mad about the cake," but she's claiming like she wasn't that mad, and it was like production just keeps saying it's boring. You guys are boring. Do something. Do something. So I think people are still going back and forth about that. How about you?
To me, the most interesting part was when she said that she went out to eat with Dolores, and she walked in and she saw production just having dinner with Melissa and Joe.
Oh
And
yeah.
I thought that was the most interesting part, and that goes to show you how shady things can be. Because me, if I'm working somewhere and I'm seeing that, like, that is going to bother me. Granted, like, I have leadership and they are closer with some people and whatever, so, I mean, and it doesn't bother me, but, like, in this type of situation, in that type of setting, it would bother me because you're gonna control and edit and show how I'm going to come across. So that would actually really, really bother me. And I think that's shady. And I think with New Jersey, that's production's only like that with New Jersey. I feel like in the other ones, it's not like that where people are friends with production.
I'm sure you do like make a relationship with production,
Yeah.
especially if you've been on for so long. But if I ever saw that, if I ever saw my boss having dinner with someone on my team, especially because I'm higher up as well. So like if I ever saw that, I would be like, what is happening here? Why didn't I know about this? I would go crazy. Like that would taunt me so much.
Yeah. It would just be like, okay, it makes sense, you know? By the way, I can confirm season 14 of The Real Housewives of New Jersey has began filming. And as I said, August 6th was when they were going to start filming, and everything I said was absolutely correct. I have seen reports about there's going to be a lot of new friends, and that is true. There are going to be a lot of friends, and my theory on this is that they're bringing, like, friends of the housewives in, and they're gonna see who's good, because I'm telling you right now, you heard it here first, and we've been saying this, season 15 is gonna be a big shakeup. So, there's a lot of friends of joining the show, and, I've read reports like, oh, about their first group setting being at the end of the month. None of that's true. I can't say too much, but none of that's true. So, I'm really interested to see how things go. I think, it's going to be like season 4 all over again or something, or season 3. So be
Ugh.
prepared for that. I know. I know it's just going to be the same old thing. Like, oh, let's see how everyone can.
Reacts or acts
Yeah.
when they're mad at
Yeah.
each other, and then they're gonna act like they don't care, and they're gonna say hi, and I just
I
we'll
feel like
see.
everyone's gonna get good with Melissa, everyone's gonna get good with Margaret, everyone's gonna get good with Teresa, except the only people who aren't gonna get good is Melissa and Teresa. So what is everyone gonna do? Well, we're all good. We all wanna have fun. Last year was not fun. Let's make you guys work it out. And it's gonna be that push of making Melissa and Teresa a thing. Which, if I was Teresa, I'd be like, no matter what, I want nothing to do with Melissa. I will have a sit down if you guys make me with my brother, but not with Melissa.
Correct. I would do the same.
Yeah. So yeah, if you guys haven't listened to Siggy, we have part 1 and part 2 out. And anything else that we got going on, Chantel? Or
No, I don't think so.
okay. So then let's go into Orange County. So Orange County, by the way, and New York, to me, they are delivering. I truly feel that way, and I feel bad because ratings were in for New York recently, and it was like 400,000. Yeah. It was something like that.
I
And
thought you told me 800 the other day.
that was for the previous episode. And I'm
Um,
sure, and I don't know if I said 800 though, to be honest, but
you did.
oh, okay. Well, then that's accurate. It just sounds extremely high, so that's why I'm like, I don't know if that was for Orange County or something, but I'm sure, okay, so 400,000. I'm sure Bravo's like, well, that's fine, because they're like, who cares? We pay each housewife. We found out that each housewife gets paid 60,000. But then what happens with is when season 2 and season 3 come, they end up paying them more, but if ratings are poor, it's like, okay, Bravo, cool. You thought this was a good idea short term because you saved money for a year. Then what? You're now having to negotiate contracts, pay them double, and then keep paying them double like every year. And then the ratings aren't even that good. I just think they thought this like reboot thing, but I actually think people need to give New York a chance. But I understand why people say why it's difficult, because everyone's attached to the OGs. But I love New York.
I last episode, I watched on Monday was really good, and I think it's gonna set up, for us to start liking some characters more, and I do think people need to give it a chance. I just think it's hard to fall in love with a new series right away. Like, it really does take 2, 3 seasons to, like, really, like, be invested.
Especially if you're attached to a certain, like, like the OGs, because like if that happened with Beverly Hills or New Jersey or just like anyone, I would be like, oh my gosh.
Like, what is this? Yeah.
I feel like Bravo should, if anything, have kept New York or something, and then just do another like spin-off where it's not the Real Housewives of New York, call it something else, I don't know. But obviously like Bravo is trying to save some money. And then but we're learning like Bravo makes so much money and has so much control on each of these individuals. So it's like, I don't know. It's going to be so interesting seeing all these people at BravoCon.
I know, oh my gosh, I keep forgetting we're going.
I
Like, are we
know.
going?
I swear we're going. Okay, we bought the tickets, so we're
Oh my
going.
god, I need to put some PTO requests in.
I know. I mean, yeah, it is like a 3-day event. I'm sure we're gonna be so exhausted, and it's gonna be a train wreck. And the whole time, I'm gonna be bitching and being like, "This is
Yeah,
too
someone take
much."
me away from her, like, make sure you come and hang out with us so I don't have to hear her the whole
Oh
time.
yeah, because I
She's
have
gonna be
no
crying about she's gonna
patience.
be crying about yeah, she has no patience, she's gonna be crying about her not seeing her kids,
Oh my
and then
gosh,
her
yeah.
husband, she calls him, like, 35 she's one of those she's Alexis Bellino on vacation calling her husband.
Yeah, I know. I really, really am. But he's like gonna be all like probably pissy because he's with all of them without me, and we're in Vegas. So he's like gonna be like, really, really.
Did you tell him yet?
He, like, has an idea, but we just haven't, like, sat down and said, like, "This is confirmation."
I feel like the only way he really will let us go is if we call it my bachelorette party, which
Oh
is
my gosh. Oh, wait,
because
that's
he
a
knows
great idea.
oh, no, but we can't call it that because then people will get mad.
Yeah, me and my husband are the worst because we, like, only go on trips with each other, but that's, like, just what we enjoy. So, I mean, yeah, that my first trip ever wi and I love it, and I love going with my kids everywhere. My first trip was with me and Chantel, and we went to New York and New Jersey, and it was the scariest experience of our life.
No,
And
your life.
no, and it was and yeah, that's why Chantel's saying it because I talked to Jacob probably 700 times in, like, a one-day span. It was bad. But anyways, why don't we get into Orange County?
Let's do it.
Okay. Orange County to me again, even though we hate TamRat, not hate, but we dislike TamRat, it's actually so good. But anyway, so Tamra, it starts off with like her getting annoyed with Eddie, and I don't blame her, but I did laugh at the scenes of him chewing and her getting irritated because that's me with everyone. Like we have aunts, and like we'll go in, and I'm talking about like aunts, like our mom's sisters, and the way they chew.
Yeah.
I will literally look at them and be like, "Are you good? Like, do you think that it's acceptable in society?" But okay, it's not even like an annoying chew. I think anyone, even if you didn't have problems with people, how they chew, you would be like terrified of the slurping and the chewing with our family. It's disgusting. Like, I'm literally looking at them. I'm like, can you have some class? And they're like,
But Roxanne has that, like, phobia, it's like agoraphobia or something where the noise really gets, like, to you and, like, gets
I
you
freak
anxious or
out.
something,
Oh
yeah.
my god, I freak. Yeah, but like Chantel, especially I'm talking about Auntie Noir.
I
Like
know,
I
I
I
know, I
can't.
get it.
I can't with her.
I mean,
And
I don't like
she'll literally look at me like, "Shut up, shut up." And I'm like, "No, like
yeah,
stop."
I don't usually, like, hear things unless you point it out, and then once you point it out and I am hearing it, then I'll get annoyed.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So I'll just
It's
live in
too
my
much.
bubble.
But yeah, I don't know why it reminded me like of them. Or like when my husband eats cereal and he like slurps the milk, I'm like, "Can you not though? Like walk away."
I
Because
think
he knows it bothers me.
Yeah, I think for them, like any relationship, like if someone's just not doing anything and doesn't work, and like they don't really have anything much going on, that would get irritating for anyone. It's like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Like, it's like when you get home, they're like so bored that they're gonna constantly just be about you or like nagging and picking on
Or
things, and it's
negative. Yeah, or
or
picking on
negative,
you.
yeah. And it's like, okay, you need to focus your energy on something else and not like the home and me.
Well, you can tell that Tamara pissed off Eddie when she was like, "So, like, what are you gonna do? Or what are you gonna do?" And like, he is obviously in this like weird limbo where he doesn't know what he's gonna do, and that just aggravates him that she's like questioning him, and then he gets defensive, and it's like, why do guys do that?
Because you're attacking their manhood.
Yes, like
It's like
girl,
this
girl.
masculine, like little girl's like, "Rawr, what are you gonna do?" And he's like, "What?
Yeah, and
Nothing."
she's making money, and it's like girl balls,
Hmm.
So, but yeah, I just thought it was funny, like also seeing that because you could just tell he was so triggered.
And I hope they really last. I mean, they've lasted a long time, so I really do hope they, grow together.
I think they will last. I feel like if they had kids, they wouldn't have lasted.
Yeah.
Like, there's just no way, especially with Eddie and how Remember when they got the fake baby and, like, you could tell he was so not into it, so I'm sure he would have never helped, and she would have resented him and hated him and all that stuff. I got this blind about Tamra cheating on Eddie when in the beginning of their relationship and, like, having proof and stuff, but I'm still trying to figure out the logistics of it all to talk about it, but yeah, just that was interesting. But anyway, so during that, Tamara yet again, she starts running her mouth about Heather Dubrow for this costume party and how Heather is this pretentious person. And I can just imagine the text between Heather and Tamara right now, where Tamara is making all these excuses and she's tackling it now, reaching out to Heather and acting like Heather did something wrong. And that's why Tamara was reacting and being a crappy friend because she feels like Heather did something wrong. It's like if you guys watch previous seasons, this is what Tamra does.
It's just so annoying how she was just being such a jackass the way she was going about it, and I'm just like, "You are just such a shitty friend." We always say this, but
Yeah.
it baffles me every time I watch her.
So Gina and Heather meet, and can we talk about Gina real quick?
Yes, what she
S-
did.
Yeah, so Gina is so useless on the show. And I've always felt that way, but I was like, whatever. But this really bothered me because I'm so sick of people using like a Teresa Giudice for clout because they know she's one of the most talked about housewives. So Gina, who no one cares about, I've never really heard anyone say, like, I'm a fan of Gina. If she left the show, I would be devastated. I would be sad. Like, no one thinks that with her. So
Never.
yeah, so she on her TikTok, she's like doing a podcast with a man. Again, also side note, why does Bravo only like have all these people do they only approve like podcasts with men. It's like the weirdest thing. Like here are women and it's like men asking these like questions, but why don't they ever approve like podcasts with other women? It really honestly bothers me. But anyways, never heard of this guy. Don't even know who this guy is. Don't know where he's from, but she's doing a podcast with him and she was like, "So what do you think about the Teresa Melissa feud?" And that's how it starts. And then she was like, she starts talking crap about Teresa. And she says, like, I've met Melissa. Melissa's nice. And she says that Teresa always does everything wrong. Like, she can never do right. And, like, she's always in the wrong. And it's like, Gina, okay, number one, you've met Melissa. Melissa makes sure to tackle all the Bravo, like, housewives to make sure that they all like her, especially, like, the newbies, because the newbies are the one who are stupid enough to, like, talk crap. Like, the OGs really won't about, like, other OGs. So she tackles the newbies. Gina knows that Teresa has absolutely zero idea who she is. Like,
Literally.
no idea. She would look at her at BravoCon and think she was one of, like, the viewers and be like, "Hey, like, do you need this autograph?" Like, she has zero idea. So Gina uses Teresa as like some, she wants headlines, and that's exactly what she got. We gave it to her. We gave her headlines. We asked people, like, do we think Gina is significant? Should she be in another season? But she literally put it on her TikTok, and it's her starting off like asking, what do we think about this Melissa Teresa thing, knowing she's gonna get attention, or else you wouldn't use that as your TikTok clip. And I just thought it was so ugly because she was just sitting there talking shit about Teresa, who's literally like done nothing to her. And Gina's so sensitive that if anyone did that to her, she would literally be crying.
Literally, and I just think that I'm just mad that we even gave her the attention that some of us did. I mean, because she that's what she wanted.
I know,
She
she
wanted
did.
people to be like, "Oh my god, I'm talking about Teresa," and it's like they're all jumping on that bandwagon. And it's like Tamara did now. And then now Gina wants to because she saw the attention Tamara was getting, and it's just like so pathetic to me.
And it's easy to feud with Teresa when you're basically feuding with yourself because Teresa doesn't even acknowledge you. She doesn't even clap back. She doesn't even know who you are, doesn't even know how you act on your show, doesn't know anything because she doesn't care. She's just living her best life. So it's easy to like start a feud with someone like that.
She's just pathetic. And then if we talk about her in this season, it's like the way that or the scene that's coming up, she was talking about it like why it's so weird that Tamara and Jen are doing a co-host party. It's giving me whiplash. Girl, they fought once. They've been friends. They literally fought once and they made up once. What's whiplash about it?
I agree though with her there.
No, but it's not. It's they've literally fought. I mean, Tamara's done shitty things to Jen, and like maybe Jen will realize and recognize, but there's no whiplash. Like they fought once, they made up once, and now they're trying to move forward. There's
No,
nothing crazy
I
about
actually
it.
agree with Gina here, so I'm gonna have to
No,
disagree because
ew.
I'm just like, I know, which is ugly because ew, Gina, but I just feel like Tamra has been so out of line with Jen from day one that it's like you're the last person I want to do anything with. But I mean, that just shows Jen's character. And I also feel like everyone is trying to set Heather Dubrow up. It seems like all of them know about Shannon's relationship and they all just want Heather to end up trashing Shannon. So, like, all of them are sitting here and they talk about Shannon and John, and that's if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. But why are they trying to get Heather to admit to things that she may have said off camera about someone's relationship when they know Shannon's gonna flip out about it?
I know,
Like,
I
because Gina
agree.
starts asking Heather about it.
I know.
Like in the scene with production where Shannon said, "If this gets out, John will leave me," or I think that's what it was. How does Shannon not think, okay, Heather may have told you guys this because we all discuss things off camera, but Tamara's the one that put this all out there.
And why
And
can't she just call her? Like,
yeah,
call Heather and say, "What's going on?"
yeah. Yeah, but I hope that she's watching back and saying like, "Wait, Heather never even put this out." Heather, there were so many opportunities. They literally sat there and they asked Heather about John and Shannon, and Heather wouldn't say anything. Obviously, not till the end, but it's obviously Tamara who keeps bringing it to light. Like, how can Shannon not look at her and say, "Okay, wow, Tamara really is the problem"?
My wedding planning is still in full effect, and one thing that has been a saving grace is saving time. When life gets busy, don't call for delivery. Get HelloFresh. It's 25% cheaper than takeout and less expensive than grocery shopping, too. Just choose your recipes and receive fresh, pre proportioned ingredients so you can get cooking quick. It's been amazing not having to think about going to the grocery store, and I know when I get home, I can look forward to making something with my fiance. It always seems I put so much more effort than I did. Bonus points, hey. This fall, you got places to be, and standing in the checkout line is not one of them. Leave the meal planning and grocery shopping to HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. Go to HelloFresh.com/50TRH and use code 50TRH for 50% off plus free shipping. Again, that is HelloFresh.com/50TRH and use code 50TRH for 50% off plus free shipping. I agree.
I like seeing Jen with her girlfriend. Jen is starting to, I feel like, doubt things. I get it. I think Jen wants to get married to shut people like up, but I don't think Ryan is marriage material. So Jen does not need to marry. But Jen's friend
Like,
is what a real
please.
friend looks like.
Yes, exactly. But please, Jen, for whatever it is, do not marry Ryan. Like, let it keep going. Date for 3, 4 more years. Like, do not marry him.
Especially if she's like saying, I don't want to get another divorce. And I don't think Ryan's
Like,
ever
have
been married.
fun.
Yeah, yeah, just have fun with him. Like, that's okay. You don't need to get married. You really, really don't. So, but I love seeing her friend. Like, her friend was such a good friend to her. So take notes, Tamra.
Like, don't you think, like, not that like marriage is only for kids, but usually like I get it. Like if you don't want a kid and get married, great. But like marriage is like something where you should have kids, maybe more. And it's like if you guys are just having a loving relationship, you guys can just be together and like be faithful and be those partners to each other. You don't
Especially if
need to
there's
get
like
married.
and especially if there's like kind of doubts in a
I
sense. Like you
know.
don't need to, especially if you're saying like I don't want to get divorced a second time, then just don't. Don't have fun. It's like sometimes I feel like people are like, well, if he marries me, then he's committed and he's not going to cheat. No matter what, he will cheat if he's married to you, if he's not married to you, if he's that type of guy.
I agree.
So, when I was watching Gina get her makeup done, it's just so crazy to me how different she looks from her first season. And about producers like when they were doing Tamra, they did Tamra so dirty because when Tamra was getting her makeup done in her face, did you see how like they zoomed into her face?
I know.
That was so scare. Like I would die and be like, don't do my makeup, like don't ever like do me like that,
It's crazy
basically.
because then like that's how you know like they're constantly wearing makeup every single scene, like so much makeup.
Yeah. Tamara
Which I
tells me,
get it. Like I don't want to be in camera.
"Oh, I would
Actually, I don't
never
care
want."
right now, but
You don't care if you were on the
like I mean,
show?
like I did a little Instagram without my makeup.
Yeah, but, like, you would care if you were on the show.
I know.
Tamra tells her makeup artist that Shannon is upset with Heather because Heather is telling people that her relationship with John is not well. And it's like, Tamra, Heather didn't tell people. She told you and Emily behind the cameras, and you guys already knew about this BS. Tamra is the one who just told the world on TV, Shannon, please wake up. And I hear that Tamra, still runs her mouth about Shannon until this day.
I
Like
think she's
she's
just jealous that, like, Shannon stayed and she left, and it's like she just can't wait to, like, do something about it.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, by the way, I really do like seeing Vicky. I know people don't like her, but I would have preferred Vicky over Tamara anyway.
Well, Vicky came in really carefree and she's doing it right. She came in saying like, "I'm gonna be the fun bitch. I'm gonna come in and just be cool." And so she's doing it.
I died at Vicky's list, by the way, like how she had it down. She remembered her entire list, and I literally was like cracking up at that.
Oh, I know. I would die to I would love for Vicky to come back so we really can see this boyfriend and them attack it, and then it's like the worst boyfriend
Yeah.
she's had. But I feel like Tamara did Heather so good though, like the actual like look of it. Who did you
Oh,
think did
oh
really well? Like
yeah.
when you walk into the
I
party.
think Shannon nailed Gina's look. Like she looked
That was
exactly
messed
like
up though.
Gina.
Like Roxanne, we would cry if someone had an extension clip showing for us because that is like the most mortifying thing ever.
But that's exactly what Gina does. Like,
I
that's how Gina's
know.
looked on
Like
several episodes, several seasons. And it's weird to me because Gina, she makes 0 sense. Like, she's bothered with Shannon mocking her, and she's like, "That's when it was at my worst." And it doesn't make sense. Like, I'm sure Gina was going through things, but just like she's not mocking you as a person, like she's just mocking how you dressed and how your hair was, which was several seasons, and you looked very happy at those times. So it's not like you were at your worst, so you were like looking like a bum. You were still trying at those moments.
poor Gina though, that's all I can say.
Taylor as Tamara was super underwhelming.
Oh my god, I'm so happy though. So Tamara, I know she's so freaking basic.
I know. Oh
Like
my
what can
gosh,
you do
that's
for
so
Tamara? Like what
true.
can you do?
Yeah, she expected so much more and she was like so excited about it. And then she was like, I was actually like pretty underwhelmed. And it's like, yeah, because you're basic and you're underwhelming, sweetie. So you just said it yourself.
Exactly. Jen
Uh
did Taylor good with her lips. Like that was freaking funny.
oh yeah, that was really good. Heather to me looked really good as Jen.
Yeah, if she did a blonder hair, she'd look amazing.
She would look really good. She looked so young.
I know.
I covered my eyes when so that wait, the drinking game the drinking that keg stand, I almost like wanted to vomit because all of them, they were just spitting it out and I was like, this is so mortifying to watch.
Disgusting. Have you
Yeah.
done a keg stand before?
I don't think I did. Maybe once.
Yeah, I think I've done it once and I almost died.
Yeah, maybe once. I don't know. I really don't think I did. I feel like I didn't. I feel like I've done an ice luge
Oh, yeah.
at our like cousin's like Christmas party.
We would get one like every year.
Yeah. We're so basic. Yeah. We're basic as well. I will say I covered my eyes when Taylor licked Emily's nipple. Like I was like, "No, this is scary."
Oh my god, I would never do that dare.
Never, never. I would be like, "No, I'm sorry. Like I'm not doing that."
I mean, maybe if I was really, really, really drunk
Yeah, I mean, no, I still wouldn't.
and
I'd
we're
be
just
like,
like having a good time, you know?
I don't know. Well, so they're all having a great night, and of course, Tamara has to ruin it by stirring up drama. But Shannon was really smart here. I respect her for that because Tamara brings up, the Heather stuff, and Shannon hears and she's like, Heather, let's go and talk. And she tells Heather exactly how Tamara was questioning Heather and how Tamara was being messy without saying she's being messy. And Shannon tells Heather that Tamara said Heather was running her mouth about their relationship to Emily, Tamara, and Gina. But then you hear Emily and the other tables say the problem is that Shannon likes to tell us things that are bad with John, but then she wants to act like all is well. So Emily just admitted that they didn't get this from Heather, but that they've heard this directly from Shannon. And all they're trying to do is set Heather up when they've all heard all of this from Shannon.
And I do believe that Heather probably had conversations with them about it, but guarantee you they brought it up, or maybe she did bring it up, and then they were just having like this one-off conversation, didn't think it's a big deal because she knew that Shannon has told them things, and it wasn't like the secret.
Yeah.
And I think even Heather keeps saying like, "I didn't tell him what you told me." Like I think there's probably so much more specifics, but she's like telling her like, "I didn't tell him what you told me."
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
And Tamara,
Um,
why do you care? Why are you throwing your best friend under the bus?
Right, exactly. And throughout the whole night. And so Shannon, she's hurt because John is so private and he's going to be upset that she went to these ladies and vented to them because he knows the ladies are bad news and it's not, it's like at the end of the day this all came from Tamra and Tamra won't stop. Emily literally just admitted that they all knew John and Shannon have an up and down relationship because Shannon tells them, and Tamra still throughout it all she keeps bringing up Heather. She keeps throwing Heather under the bus and clearly you're all talking about it together, just like you said. So why are we only singling out Heather? It just makes no sense. And it all seems very set up to me that when Emily's talking about it, Tamara looks at Emily and she's like, yeah, but didn't Heather? And I'm like, oh my gosh. But I will say, Shannon to me, it really is TV gold. Like Gina gets involved and they're all saying that they're concerned for Shannon. And that shit bothers me. And Shannon loses it. And I believe that she does love John so much. And John doesn't like this part of her life. And she's choosing this show. So she doesn't want him to be like, see, this is why I can't do this. And Tamara is such a POS. I can't take it. When Emily is trying to calm Shannon down, Tamara literally brings up Heather again. And she spins it as she usually does after Shannon says Heather denied it and says, why would you say that? Tamara goes as far as saying, I never told Shannon anything when Tamara ended up like confronting Heather about it. And I just can't keep up. Like, is all this for real?
I was watching and saying Tamara is the most delusional person I've ever met in my life,
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
The way she is calm and then all of a sudden she hears her name, she runs out like, wow, like it's just the craziest. I'm
She
like, what
knows.
is
Like, she knows.
I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah. Shannon is the type of person who forgets who she tells things to because, like, there was a part that Emily brings up, and it doesn't really make sense here because she's like, I haven't talked to you about John since 2020. And then all of a sudden, Emily's like, we just talked a couple of months ago, and it was at this restaurant, and you told me all this. And did you see how it was like this awkward pause?
Yes.
It was so uncomfortable. When Shannon said she said that, or when Emily told Shannon that you just told me this, like Shannon just stares at her because she's like, well, this did happen. So did I really tell you that? It was so
Yeah.
awkward.
And it's like she is just fighting with her like inner self. Like shit. Like I have been exploiting my boyfriend and he hates his stuff. Like I'm gonna get like and she's scared about the rat that what's gonna happen when she does have to tell him, which is kind of like um weird. Like you shouldn't be scared to tell your boyfriend really anything. Like he shouldn't be blowing up on you. I
Yeah.
thought she was a little bit dramatic the way she was handling it, but maybe because she was just so scared.
Well, I love that Vicky comes in and Emily is like, "You need people to rally around you, Shannon." And Vicky's like, "No, you don't. You don't need anyone to rally. Let her figure it out on her own." And I actually agree with Vicky there. It's like you guys all try to get so involved in the relationships, and Emily's like, "It's not fair. I say things about my relationship with Shane, and it's like, Emily, I love you, but like, no one cares about you and Shane, and I don't. What relationship stuff? Like, no offense, like a lot of people think Shane's like this dweeb, and no one cares. Like, what do you tell people? Like, I do appreciate, I do like when Emily sits there and talks about, like the parental stuff and just all that, but it's like there's no serious problems that you've put on the table with you and Shane.
Yes.
So basically, though, John has no shot with Shannon after this episode, like dead ass. There's just no way I can see that. And again, at the end, Tamara's still pinning this on Heather. She keeps bringing Heather into it, and it's sick. I don't know how Shannon doesn't go back and watch this and think Tamara is the worst human. This all came out at the end of the day because of Tamara and not because of Heather. And also, I'm dying because every time I see Emily, she's like sticking a chicken in her mouth.
Oh my god, stop. Really?
You didn't notice that
No,
every
I
single
didn't.
time. That's why, like, Emily lost all this weight, and it's great, but Emily's like us, Chantel, we grub, like, we eat, right? We really do. We're just like that,
I
and
mean, I noticed when Vicky was like, "What the hell is this?" Like, they're like, "What kind of food is this?" Like, I get a cheese board. We love cheese boards, but like, yeah, you can't have a cheese board for the whole time of the party.
but she did have, like, chicken skewers,
I know
she
later
did
she ended
have
up
stuff
having
like
yeah,
that, but it's just funny because like, Emily's, like, the first one to be like, "Ooh, good food," and, like, she's so excited about it, and then she lost, like, this massive amount of weight, and she does work out, but I still feel like she's on something to not eat
for
because
sure.
she's, like, a big time foodie and a big time grubber, so, I mean, let's see how she acts next season. But Heather calls out Emily, and I like this, but I wish she also did this with Tamra because they all want to call everyone out, but it's like the real problem here is Tamara. Like, we all need you guys to sit down so Tamara could do that thing where she runs away and acts like a victim. By the way, Tamara unfollowed Jen off of Instagram.
No, I didn't. Why?
Yeah, she unfollowed Jen off Instagram because she said that, and go on allabouttrh.com. She's accusing Jen of playing the victim, and she says, after Watch What Happens Live, I unfollowed her not because I'm mad at her, because she's playing a little victim on Instagram. So when people talk crap about me, she instantly goes in there and does like this poor victim kind of answer, and I didn't want to see it. And it's like, no, you're an asshole, Tamra. It's not about her playing victim. This is exactly how it's come across. Like she's not playing victim. You are
Yes.
just the biggest asshole ever.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so she goes and she unfollows her,
You know
and
you know what? Actually, after like our interview with Amber, when we had the interview with Amber, like, isn't it kind of crazy when you kind of know some of the production secrets, like where they probably made, I don't know, because like you kind of know what I'm talking about, right? How they like kind of, it's like this is my friend, but then all of a sudden look how they make them go after each other.
but I genuinely believe that Tamra, yeah, because I feel like Tamra, when she talks to production about what she has going on this
She told
season,
them all the
she
tea
told them all
about,
this stuff about Jen. So
yeah,
they're like, okay, if you feel this way and you do think it's
you
weird, then
better tell her.
you should tell her. And of course, as a housewife, you don't have to, but like this is also your job, and you told us producers it. So then why aren't you saying it?
Exactly.
Yeah. Um, so even when Gina comes in, Gina says Heather told Emily stuff and Emily told Tamra. And Gina, even at the end of the episode, and then what I meant was, so when Gina tells them that, like, you can tell that it's not like Heather went and talked about it to Gina. I just feel like they all came together and said, let's set Heather up. That is where I stand. But at the end of the episode, you hear Shannon say F you to Heather when she was like in the limo. And I'm just like so confused because this all came from Tamra, and I cannot believe it. Tamra has put this out there, and Shannon's not dumb. So I don't understand how Shannon has not seen this.
But she's so good. I mean, she's so good at this. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know,
It's
but
wild. That's why
definitely.
that's why I love reunions for OC. Like OC reunions are wild because they finally see things, and then like I feel like Tamara like can't stand reunions because she finally gets like called out for all her bullshit. Like she dies on
And she
reunion
can't
days.
grab one of them and be like,
Yeah,
"Hey," but what she's doing,
exactly.
that's why I'm saying, like, what she's doing is she's, like, getting ahead of things by she's, like, looking at text messages, texting them so that they're all good by the time reunion comes.
Mm.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know, you guys watch Orange County because it is cray cray. We are going to be keeping you guys updated with New Jersey stuff, and yeah, I think that's really ish. Until anything else.
No, I'm excited to see what happens in this season of New Jersey when they're filming now. But I feel like
Yeah.
we shouldn't if we find out stuff we can't say everything because then like people won't watch.
Right. I'm not. I'm just gonna tell you when things are wrong. So that's it.
Yes.
But yeah, so anywho, yeah, we woke up extra early to do this. So we gotta get to work and all that great stuff. We have a bonus episode coming out on Friday. Um we did what was it? A
It's
crossover,
a
like we
crossover with
said.
Behind the Blinds.
Yeah, they're like a pop culture podcast. So we did that, and then we'll put out an interview next week. We'll recap New York and we'll recap Orange County as well. And then just, go over some hot topics. But thank you guys so much for listening. Please leave us a review, only if it's a good review. If it's not, just and even if you guys have feedback, right? And you guys are like giving us a 3 or 4 star, leave a 5 star and just put the feedback, okay? And we'll take that feedback and we'll say, okay, we are gonna be better here. But overall, thank you guys for being so supportive. Oh, I want to actually say this because on Twitter, now I'm like going and looking at Twitter real quick. Heather McDonald, Chanel, you know Heather McDonald, right?
Yes.
Okay, so because like a lot of people like are talking shit about us about like the dumbest things or whatever, but Heather McDonald, and see, I don't even think that I see it, but Heather McDonald said, I don't want to worry about people who don't like me and what people who don't like me have to say when I have so many people who like us. So that's exactly like our mindset moving on with this podcast, because a lot of people, we're just kind of talking crap on Twitter and stuff. And that's our mindset, Chantel, is like we don't need to worry about the few people that are talking about us and making these like false narratives or whatnot when we have so many great people who support us and talk, really nice. And that's all that matters. So thank you guys for being,
Amen.
yeah,
And
so
I
great and
don't and
supportive.
I don't like read Twitter, so please stop sending me them. Stop sending me the text because I don't need to read it, okay? Because I like to have a positive mindset.
Yeah, I got you, boo boo.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for listening and have a happy Thursday.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Be sure to check out allabouttrh.com for everything Real Housewives and Bravo TV. And please make sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at allabouttrh podcast.